Hello, pioneers, and welcome back to Satisfactory 1.0. This is fantastic Mr. Ghost. And last episode, we finally got time crystals manufactured in mass. Coal spun to diamonds to time crystals. Awesome. And let me tell you, I wish it was darker, but this looks pretty cool. All right, the other project we worked on was wet concrete. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of that. Let's go take a look at it. 2,700 limestone converted into 1,800 concrete per minute. Hopefully it'll be enough to complete the final project assembly phase. And finally, we are now making parts in the new base. The new and improved 1,200 a minute belt speed base. So we got the reinforced iron plates and the modular frames. It's onward and upward from here. And as promised, I added 2 train stops, one for the time crystals and one for the concrete. So if I have to add more trains to this to keep the flow going, I will. I added 2 small tanks here on the outputs for fuel and for the nitric acid. That way, if the train comes by and unloads, there won't be any interruptions in flow. Alrighty folks, so let's carry on with the project. My goal with this episode is to knock out as much as possible. We've done everything in the game already, we just haven't done it here. I'd like to get the nuclear pasta done, and then we have 3 more parts after that. So let's get started with the project assembly base part 2. Alrighty pioneers, this is a 300% speed up. We're on hyper speed. Building mode. This is the heavy, the industrial pipe stuff. Concrete and pipe, the alternate. Yeah, so sit back, enjoy, and watch the show. Now I'm only placing 2 machines just to get a baseline. This will be expanded later. My favorite part of the game, trying to figure out where the hell these lifts should go. I have to do a lot of backtracking because I started so far back, and now I have to double the belts back to connect, which is not a problem. This will resolve itself when we get further down. And there we go, the beams. Now for the heavy modular frames, these are the flexible ones. 4 inputs, luckily one's right there. I'm trying to be cognizant of lining up to the center of the wall, the concrete slab, so that it lines up to the ports. I am trying to really hammer that into my head. And my favorite steel screws, baby. 390 overclocked. Heck yeah. It's also very nice to spread out a little bit, just in case, because, sometimes you forget an input, like the steel beams. Now for the modular frames to be input in, kind of a awkward little thing here. I was off a little bit. If you're not lined up, then you get a little bit of a goofy curve at the end. So I fixed that though. Now here's another thing that I have to incorporate into the builds, and that is putting the splitter right over the lift. So I have to push the manufacturer back, and also the floor loaded one, you have to pull that forward to clear the lifts. So there's some things that I'm doing that are new here, and I just have to figure out the strategy to build to this new type of situation here. Here's another backtrack belt. Now time for the steel beams for my favorite steel screw recipe. And that is heavy modular frames. Done. Alrighty, Pioneers, I wanted to break in here and showcase something I'm playing around with. And that is this design I was talking about in the speed up with my commentary. It is pretty much unavoidable to not have the belt curve for the manufacturer. It's just not going to happen. I edged it forward, and yeah, it just won't happen. So being on center here, so you can kind of notice where I am. I am right on the, it's on the line right before this grate here, kind of like a drainage grate. So you put your lift in, and then you pop the splitter on, and you just have to, if you're going to go center, that's what you do. Now, the other issue, like I was saying, is if you do a floor load. We can go here, for example, flip it that way. So this might be too close, but you see how you're off center. So it's going to conflict. But you can go here, potentially, for the floor load. And then let's grab a wall, triple, and you see how it lines up now. So if you're going to do a floor load, you're going to have to bump out. But, mainly you want to stay within the confines of this concrete piece here. And then the other lifts, for example, it'll clear it now, see. So we have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then pop the splitter on, flip it wherever way you need to go. Yeah, there we go. So there's the next one. And then this one, well, this is conflicting, but we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's how it is. Flip it around. So that should be the baseline there. Now, I want to blueprint this sucker. So I'm going to go, I might go back to the hub area and do that. So we can toss that there. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be here. This is, these poles, belt poles were just here for me to figure out how's the belt going to look coming out of the port. So, you just have to deal with a little bit of curvature in the belt. It's just the way they design the manufacturer with the reference to the other stuff. Now, I don't know if this is intended, putting these splitters on top of the lifts. It works. I want to say they made it intended eventually. First it was unintentional. It was kind of, I don't think it worked 100%, like I said. It was just kind of like a fluke. But it's working 100% now. So, but I don't think they adjusted the spacing with the manufacturer. Now, you look at the blender here. I always say mixer. It works. You can see it's straight. So that's a good sign there. Unfortunately, it's only 2 inputs, which is fine. Now we would still have to go out to the edge there because we got to clear the lift. Clipping is not a good thing. I don't like clipping. So this is going to be the mixer input here. Now, this is the fused modular frame. You'll see that I have the output multiplier. I only have 19 summer sloops right now. I have 4 of the power enhancers, you know, those alien power things. What are these things called here? The alien power augmentor. And it takes 10 per, so that's 40 summer sloops tied up. I have some in the main base, which I can pull, you know, the starter base. And right now I'm doubling the output of the nuclear pasta so I can get some tickets, because I want the gold nut. So I can pull some, I can go through the whole factory there and pull summer sloops out. I'm pretty sure I have a bunch there, so that'll hold me off for a while. But I can get out there and, you know, find some, like I said. Okay, so that is this is going to be the fused modular frame. It's going to output 6 for a total of 12. And it needs 3 heavy modular frames. We need the aluminum ingots. Now, I have exactly 300 coming from the, you know, aluminium build. Nitric acid, plenty. I overestimated. I think I did 50. We need only 48. It's going to be tight. We'll see. And the fuel, I got 400, so plenty of fuel. Now, I can always do another nitric acid build. I'm not worried about that, you know. Okay, so now, down here, that's why I wanted to break in. Okay, down here, I'm going to be doing, to save on length of this, I have the silicon circuit board here. This is the highest output alternate that we have. So copper sheet and silica, it's not necessarily going to go here, but it's going to be around here. So the copper sheet and silica are right here. So all I got to do is split off, probably right off of this one here. I might go center right here. So this will bump back a little bit, or, well, forward that way. Forward being that way. So I'll put the silicon circuit board here. And then we have the AI limiter. So we got to work on that. So I figure I'd use the space down here to, you know, do these. Quick wire and plastic. Plastic comes in over here, I think, so I'll have to backtrack. Now, another option is to pull this up, and you'll see that I can pull off of here with a splitter, and then go this way underneath, and then pop up wherever I'm going to be here. So it doesn't matter where I go on that one. I'll leave that open because I'm going to get that anyway. So now we have the quick wire, which starts way back here, you know, or the ingots do. So I can pull this way back and then pull the plastic way back too. But there's no really need for that. You know, I might as well just kind of keep over here. So that means that this, oh, and by the way, oh, is this off? It looks off. Yeah, I'll fix that if I think about it. Oh, let me get rid of these things here. I think, wait a minute. Yeah, these are all taken now. Okay, so I've been building this bus here. Just wanted to showcase this too. These are all 4 high. I can go a fifth rung, so it's 2 more for a total of 10 of the poles. So as soon as I get further down, you know, I can make that consideration. Wow, I am close to that, aren't I? Oh boy. Oh, and one of the things I was talking about is I don't, you know, I'm going to run into that, obviously. So what I can do is I could probably clip through that, you know, because we're running right into it now. So the other option is I can go around it, you know, and avoid clipping. So I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I'm not worried about it. It is what it is. Welcome to Satisfactory, where there's crap in your way every time you turn around. Okay, so let's go over here, and yeah, so the deuterium ingots will, and the copper will go over here. Let's see, let's go ahead and plop this down here. And I'm not sure how many I'm going to need of these, but they're going to go on the bus for this time. Because I had them internal, I think, prior to this, you know, the other base. So we need 120 quick wire, which is why I do these locally. So let's find those. This is the fused quick wire here. And we get 90 out of this sucker. So I'm going to do a couple of these here probably. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need, you know, because we're going to need them for another part. So we get 8 So I'll set this up where I can support 2. But I think I might downclock that to 90 and just go 1-to-1, and then get the AI limiters on here. And I can always reconfigure this back here because it's the only thing. And we're good to go. All right, so let's go up here. So I need the heavy modular frame and the aluminum ingot. That's the physical inputs there. So let me pull this out right here. So I already have the splitter in for the heavy mods here. So we can go R, bam. There's that. This is where this is going to be. There's the fluids here, and the I think nitric acid is a fluid. Fuel is a fluid for sure. So I got to go over there with these fluids. So my thoughts are I have to go under because the rail here. So it's unavoidable. So I'm going to put some ports in here. There's 1. And 2. Now I'm thinking I should stagger these here because we're going to do a small pipe bust down here basically for 2 of these. Snap it in. There we go. Splitter for that. Okay, now all I got to do is bring in the aluminum ingots, and this is set to go. So let's go ahead and set the recipe. Oh, Control C, Control V. And it puts the summer sloops in there too. It's awesome. So we're producing 3.75 here, and we're going to need, I think, 6. Yeah, so what is this here? So, yeah, I'll put another machine on here. Oh, and in between the cuts there, I expanded all this out. This will need to be expanded. The rips, the reinforced iron plate, as well as all this. Because when I add another one of these for the second mixer here, it's going to expand all that. So I'm glad I'm doing this one first, because this is the iron hungry build right here. So we got plenty of iron and steel for sure. And there we go. Fuse modular frames, baby. So I like this design here. I basically keep the floor in the same spot here. Well, I'm gonna remove this flooring and put an angle piece in to jut over. It's not an official angle piece, you know. Okay, I'm over here by my little staging, you know, kind of a checklist area, and you'll see that I need the AI limiter for the crystal oscillator for sure here. The RCU, radio control system, the alternate, needs the circuit board and the crystal oscillator. So these two have to be done together. You know, well, they have to be done. And then the pressurized cube, or the pressure conversion cube, can be done, which will lead to, finally, this beast right here. And then the copper powder, like I said, we're going to do on the bottom. We're just going to find some patches and put the constructors down, combine and merge and do all that stuff, and bring it up to this sucker right here. I think that it's a half. I'll have to look at the numbers here. So it's 1 to one of these assemblers to 2 nuclear pasta machines here. All right, let's work on those circuit boards and the AI limiters. Alrighty, Pioneers, the ghostly belt shines at night. Ooh, pretty cool, huh? Alright, yeah, I did a few additions here in between the cuts. Turn my light on here. I doubled the reinforced iron plate. RIPs. We call them RIPs, man, in the business, you know. RIP, right? Get it? Get it? So that's all expanded out. This is 15 a piece, so 60 here. That's required by the modular frames. It's 7.5 per. Oh, and I calculated the I calculated the requirement for iron plate, and we're well below what we're making. Well below. I completely, well, I mean, we got options for expansion. That's a good thing. And also the nitric acid needs iron plate, so it's 90 minus whatever, 2400 or whatever I'm making. I can't remember now. So this is looking pretty good. And then as far as the steel beams go, plenty. We got plenty of that. More screws to be made. And this is the heavy screw built area because I like the high output with the screws. I really enjoy that. I like the complexity of the screws and all that. And then let's see what we got here. The beams are increased as well, as you can see. Plenty of pipe. It's only 24 pipe times, I think it's 8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, so this is well below what we're producing. Plenty of room for expansion here. That's why, you know, go big or go home, because then you don't have to worry about the other end of it. So the limiting factor right here with this build is really the nitric acid, which is kind of funny. Over here we have rubber. It's only 75, so we're consuming 150 out of 800 plus. We have the excess from the fuel being converted into rubber. So I think it's like 860 or something like that if the fuel runs though. So 11.25 beams, 22.5 beams. That's crazy. That's why my jaw always drops on that one, especially in the beginning game. All these. And this is overbuilt slightly. I didn't downclock anything. Oh, and this is not overclocked as well. So if anything, it'll naturally starve out because I only have 60, but this build requires more than 60 because I just left this at 5 per minute. So, and it's fine, you know, it's no big deal. Oh, I did an update. I did a dumb over here. I fixed it. I didn't need the splitter on here. I was thinking I need, you know, I'm thinking splitter. So all I need is a lift, twist it, and we're done. So I redid all that, and I put the fast belt in there because it's cool. So over here, nothing's changed over here. Same stuff. 2 mixers. And yeah, that's a lot of fused modular frames, for me, at least. 12 a minute because of the sloops. There we go. So there we go on that. And down here we got... Oh, I did a dumb over here, but I fixed it. I originally started with the one machine overclocked. I'm like, well, you know, I didn't want to do that. So it's 120, 60-60 downclocked here. So I got the ingots coming in, splitting, all that good stuff. And all I did is I changed the merger or the splitter to a merger. I don't know why. I was just in splitter mindset. So I did that. I undid the dumb. So if I want to make more of the AI limiters, which I don't know if I will, because I have to figure out how many crystal oscillators I'm going to do. So there might be another machine. Who knows? I hope not. And then I went ahead and just plopped down 4 circuit machines because I know we're going to need them. 12 and a half. So that's, was that 50 or 25, 50? Yeah, 50 circuit boards. I'm probably going to need more. So I'll plop those down as needed. So whenever you put a machine down, you have to walk back and kind of look at what you have. Like I said, I'm not doing a spreadsheet playthrough. It's just so, I don't know. It just takes the fun out of it for me. I'd rather just go, oh, what do I need? All right, go and do that, you know. So it's kind of fun. All right, so that's it. Next episode, we're going to work on the crystal oscillators and the radio control units, not the rocket control. Radio control units. And we're getting, and then the powdered copper. So what I'll probably do is just I'll do an intro and speed up the entire thing. And then I'll put some commentary in there. So we're working towards this thing right here. Yes, this thing. We need the nuclear pasta, and that will be synced right away. I'll just go right off to the side and put it into a shredder, and then I'll go back to the main base and reassess that, because all I need is I need the nuclear pasta for the transporters. That's it. So, and that has to keep running and running, unfortunately. But I get what they're doing here. So anyway, I had a crash. I don't mention them, but I will here. And if you have a train on an incline, you don't want the signals too close together, because the train might not slow down quick enough on an incline, and boop, it'll bump into it. And then I had another one over by the oil field. The signals were too close to the split, and one couldn't stop fast enough. Like, oh, so they do have some kind of a... I think it's changed. I think it used to be the train would come to a complete stop very quickly. I think they've changed that a little bit now to punish you if you're signaling too close. I don't know, but everything seems to be working. I haven't had any train crashes or collisions. I'd like to capture them on screen, but yeah, it's a lot of running around and fooling around. But I'll explain it if it happens. I'll explain it. I think everything has been working great with the rail now. I haven't noticed any issues. I'm going to check for bottlenecks eventually, though, once this thing is up and running and I can spend the time. But so far, so good. Well, these trains, man. 4 trains. Woo! All right, so we'll end it here. Work on the crystal oscillators, RCUs, next episode. Try and get this nuclear pasta going. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I sure did. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.